Today, the modern cyber warfare theater is certainly no longer exclusively a battlefield for nation-states and formal militaries. It has evolved into a dense ecosystem populated by a wide spectrum of non-state actors, proxies, and autonomous entities. For cybersecurity professionals, this creates a specific problem. Effectively defending a network requires accurately profiling the exact type of actor attacking it. This 3D graph represents the threat matrix. Computer scientists use this academic taxonomy to classify actors by measuring three distinct variables: their technical skill, their primary motivation, and their organizational scale. Accurately plotting an actor on this matrix allows system architects to predict their likely targets and anticipate the specific tools they will deploy against a network. Looking at the absolute lowest point on the technical skill axis, we find the most common non-state attackers operating individually. These are known as script kiddies. They possess almost zero inherent programming ability and rely entirely on pre-made scripts and system penetration tools created by others. Despite their low individual skill, they frequently succeed. They rely on sheer volume, constantly scanning the web to exploit poorly secured internet-facing systems. Operating at an even lower technical tier are scammers. Instead of exploiting software, they adapt traditional con artist tactics for the web, using social engineering techniques like phishing and farming. Phishing and farming involve tricking users into navigating to fraudulent websites or clicking malicious links. Scammers specifically target individuals who lack technical savvy. Their goal is to extract personally identifiable information, or PII, like social security numbers or banking details, to drain the victim's financial resources. These individual opportunists act as a persistent baseline threat. They do not actively defeat advanced security architectures. Rather, they exploit the statistical reality of human error and unpatched vulnerabilities. Moving up the matrix's technical skill axis, we encounter individual actors who possess deep knowledge of target operating systems and complex programming. These are malware authors. They are the highly skilled developers who build advanced tools like rootkits and botnets. A botnet is a network of compromised computers controlled remotely by an attacker, often used to execute mass digital assaults. There is a direct, symbiotic relationship between these high and low-skill actors. Malware authors distribute creation kits that allow unskilled script kiddies to easily customize and deploy sophisticated payloads by simply selecting options from a menu. Further up the skill tier are black hat hackers. Unlike defensive white hats or neutral gray hats, black hats are highly skilled system exploiters who operate with malicious intent. Their motivations range from specific data theft to mere thrill-seeking. What separates black hats from scammers is their complete disregard for the structural damage they cause to targeted networks. Advanced technical skill acts as an asymmetric amplifier. It allows a solitary individual to inflict systemic damage that would traditionally require the resources of an entire organization. This area of the matrix highlights a different cluster of actors. Here, the primary motivation changes from financial gain to political and ideological influence. These are hacktivists. Groups like Anonymous utilize legally ambiguous digital tools, such as website defacement and mass emailing, to force political change or protest censorship. To understand their scale, consider the 2010 Distributed Denial of Service, or DDoS, attack. In this incident, hacktivists targeted the Australian government to protest internet censorship, flooding government servers with automated traffic until they collapsed. A more directed subset of this group are patriotic hackers. They operate independently but align their actions with a specific state's nationalistic interests. During the 2009 University of East Anglia email leak, patriotic hackers compromised university servers. These independent actors were widely suspected of being employed as proxies by the Russian state. Scaling up to the extreme end of ideological motivation brings us to cyberterrorism. Cyberterrorists use telecommunications to cause physical violence or massive service disruption, specifically to instill public fear. They typically target highly disruptive and publicly visible critical infrastructure, such as large-scale electrical grids. The psychological weight of this threat is severe. When the massive 2003 blackout hit the northeastern United States, forcing crowds onto the streets, Investigators initially treated it as a potential terrorist attack. Ideological attackers measure their success not by extracted wealth, but by the sheer volume of societal disruption and attention they generate. Moving to the extreme end of the matrix's organizational scale axis, we find entities with resources rivaling small nations. Large corporations, particularly in the tech industry, possess massive technological power and staff their operations with highly skilled security experts. Corporate cyber warfare is rarely overt. Instead of destructive attacks, it is historically rooted in stealthy commercial and industrial espionage. Operating parallel to corporations is organized cybercrime. Traditional crime syndicates have evolved, leveraging their existing structures to weaponize malware, identity theft, and DDoS attacks. They target organizations holding massive amounts of sensitive data, like credit card processing centers and financial institutions. The extraction is immensely profitable. One Ukrainian criminal group secured $900 million in a single month. At this tier, cyber attacks are no longer chaotic, isolated exploits. They are highly structured, deeply funded operational campaigns executing with corporate efficiency. Finally, we must now remove the human operator from the matrix entirely to understand this latest shift. These are autonomous actors. They primarily emerge as advanced malware designed to execute complex payloads entirely disconnected from external command and control structures. A strict physical constraint drives this evolution. Actions in cyber warfare are limited only by the speed of the network itself, a pace that vastly exceeds human cognitive and response capabilities. To counter this speed, network defense also relies on autonomous actors. Modern infrastructure utilizes automated firewalls and intrusion prevention systems, or IPSs, which are network security appliances that react instantly to threats without manual input. The front line of the cyber theater has shifted into a machine speed engagement. Human operators are increasingly relegated to system configuration and oversight rather than direct, real-time combat. This fully populated chart maps the complete threat landscape. By plotting technical skill, motivation, and scale, we can see exactly how scammers, hacktivists, organized crime syndicates, and autonomous agents map differently across the ecosystem. Computer scientists apply this framework practically. If a public-facing server is overwhelmed with traffic and defaced, the matrix suggests hacktivism. But a silent, methodical database extraction points directly to the highly resourced realm of organized crime. A robust network architecture must account for all of these factors. It has to be versatile enough to deflect the sheer, constant volume of low-skill script kiddies, while simultaneously guarding against the focused, well-funded espionage of major corporations. As the cyber warfare theater rapidly cedes operational control to autonomous algorithms executing at machine speed, a computer scientist's mandate remains grounded in human behavior. To defend a system, you must understand the exact motivations of the actors writing those algorithms.